Hello, my friends. Well, today I'm going to talk to you about a couple things. First of all, the evolution of my kitchen and kind of like a good way to use space in a van. Secondly, the tiniest sink you've ever seen. Is this the tiniest sink you've ever seen? No. Is this the tiniest sink you've ever seen? No. This is the tiniest sink you've ever seen. Details to follow. Alright, so here we have what's been happening. I'm about 3/4 of the way finished building my kitchen counter. So this goes up. I left this tape on here because I'm going to polyurethane these edges. It's just raw plywood right now. And that's going to be up there to make sure I don't get any on this side. So yeah, this will go up. And then down as well. So what's going to happen is the majority of the time from like October to like May, I don't really open this door that much. It's rainy, it's cold, blah, blah, blah. So in that time, this will generally stay down. But when it's nice out and my sliding door's open, I'm hanging out at the beach or park, whatever, I can open this up. I can go in and out, and that's going to work well. That will free up this entire space, which is a total mess. Please don't judge. And that will leave other options for that other side. But I've been experimenting with paint. I was thinking of gray, but now I'm leaning towards black. And I think what I'm going to do back here is I'm going to paint this black with chalkboard paint. But it's hard because I'm a cheapo and it's like $25 for a small can. So do I really want to spend that much? I probably will. So what I got to do now is today I'm gonna work on putting my stove piece right here and then the stove on top. This is probably the smallest sink you've ever seen. It's literally like 2.5 inches. Well, it's 3 inches, 2.5 or 3 inches from side to side, one of the two. And it's actually a funnel. So what's going to happen is I'm going to use this container under here, and I'm going to collect. This got to be pushed over a bit. I'm going to collect my gray water. This is only going to be for gray water. This thing is in the way. I still haven't put this door up. Get out of here, you. It's going to be like that. There's going to be a hole made on the top. And then I'm going to mark where it's, this is really dirty, so I don't want to put it on camera, but I'm going to mark where it's 1.89 liters or 2 liters, which is the size of these. Yeah, 1.89 liters. And I go through at least 1 or 2 of these a week. So I'm always going to have a container for gray water. So that will fill up in here, blah, blah, blah. And then once it gets to the line with 1.89 liters, I dump it into one of these containers. And then I toss it. That's the idea. That way I don't have to ever dump gray water. I'm going to have to throw those soy milk containers out anyway, so why not fill them and use them? And by putting a line on the jug, I mean, I could just put this right here by itself, right? But then how do I know if it's full? I don't. So that's why I'm going to just dump it over. I think that'll work fine. And then this eventually is going to be I'm going to turn this into my sink faucet, I guess you could call it. Basically, it's just my drinking water. And that'll go up. Hopefully it'll fit. I'm not 100% sure, but my aim is to have it right behind the 1-burner stove right here. Yeah, good times. That's a small sink. really, it's just meant to pour stuff in. Like when I got my pot of cooking water, whatever, I don't need any more of it. Like if I make pasta, dump it in the sink, goes down. Now there are potential issues, like look how close that is to the blanket, basically in half an inch away. So I'm gonna have to be careful, and I'll see how that goes. I make no promises. I might have to change things in the future, and you know what? It's just screws. So if I have to change it, I'll change it. Take the screws out and try something else. Some things I'm not even like, I was going to glue and screw the top down for extra strength, but I may change things in the future. And if I do, I want to have the option of taking this wood off without destroying the bottom piece. Because if I glue it, wood glue, it will rip the wood if you try to take it apart. So, options. If you ever watch Humble Road with George, that guy is amazing van builder, and he is always talking about options, and he's right. So this is one of the drawbacks of this table. Never, ever drive with it open. I learned that the first day I built it. I left it open, it slammed down, and then the hinge is actually bent. You can see there's a tiny bend right here, and now it's not flush. It was flush before. So now I bought 2 more hinges, and they're like $4.30 a piece. So every time I forget to leave the door open, I guess I'm charging myself a fee of like $8.60 plus tax. I could use more robust hinges, and I was thinking about it, but the problem is once I take this screw out, there's going to be a hole there, and then I'm left with a problem. If I could find a hinge that would cover that perfectly, that might be an option if I had found a really strong one. But for now, I'm just going to replace the hinges once, and hopefully I leave the bloody counter down. But we'll see. It's inevitable eventually it's going to happen again. So this is my Wave 6 heater, which I only use on the coldest of days, like if I'm washing my hair in the morning. I'll have this on and it'll make it nice and warm in this area. So even though I don't use it that much, but I do use it occasionally. Like when it's cold, I'll use it, but it doesn't get that cold that often here. And so that's my Wave 6, and then that is connected to the hose here, which goes down there. Oh, there's all my screws, and then goes in here. My little 1 gallon 5 pound propane tank. And this is where so far I've been keeping my pot, but I don't know if it's going to stay there or not. Anyway, I opted just to drill 1-inch holes and sand the inside instead of using handles for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's cheaper, and number 2, it lets air in here. And what I'm trying to do in this entire build is make sure I have airflow as much as possible. So that is that. This is made out of 1 sheet of birch plywood, and the counter is part that swings up is obviously 2 pieces screwed together. Now I had this professionally cut because I want it done properly, and the guy didn't do that great of a job. I had to sand it. I don't know what he did, but I spent like a half an hour trying to line up all the edges. And because he used a table saw, it should have been 100% accurate, like all the way around perfectly, but it wasn't, so I had to sand it. Anyway, I'm gonna put another few coats of polyurethane on here. It came pre-coated. That's one of the reasons I bought it. It's $50, and it comes pre-coated with polyurethane. You buy uncoated, and it's $40. So, and this side, I just put this little, I guess they call it a cleat, into this side, and that's where the edge of the counter stays. It doesn't move. Now you're saying, Timothy, why the heck did you build it like that? Because, like, obviously this is not going to be the countertop, but it's going to be like this, right? And my stove is going to go on top of here. But, problem, I am 6 feet tall, and this bed is like 71 inches. I made it shorter on purpose so I could have more room over here. So I cut like 3 inches off my bed. And that means my toes are going to stick over here a bit. Kind of an experiment to see what happens. But, so I'm not going to enclose this. This is not going to be really storage. I'm not going to really put anything in here. I might put a blanket or something during the day. Or maybe a backpack. And then at night when I go to sleep, I can take it out. That's an idea. Maybe a backpack would fit there. And that way I have a place for my feet. And this will be remaining open. And no biggie. Stove will go on top. So what I'm going to do here is, yes, I painted the cedar, but it's covered by this. You know, you're not going to see most of it anyway. Is I'm going to put a hook right here. I haven't even taken it out of the package yet. And I'm going to put my hat there. Purpose built. So I'll hang my hat. I got a place to hang my hat, folks. Alright guys, well there you have it. Thanks for watching. Be well, my friends.